It was a quiet morning in a small Georgia neighborhood when Laverne K. Parsons was discovered dead in her own garage. At first, it looked like a burglary gone wrong, and the chaos seemed to support it. Even Kay's neighbor, Rebecca Sears, was found nearby with a gunshot wound to her leg, claiming she'd crossed paths with the same intruder. But when police looked closer, the story began to fracture. The evidence refused to line up, and the scene felt strangely deliberate. Soon, investigators uncovered a far more disturbing truth, one tangled in jealousy, betrayal, and a deadly love triangle hidden in plain sight. This is the story of Laverne K. Parsons, a woman killed in cold blood, and a crime born from obsession and deception. Laverne K. Parsons moved to Grovetown a few years before 2009 with her husband, David Parsons, and their young son, Derek. Kay was 41 years old, a mother, a wife, a co-worker at a local physical therapy clinic. To those who knew her, she was kind, dependable, and community-minded, someone who smiled at neighbors and remembered birthdays. Life seemed ordinary, calm, and safe. Next door lived Rebecca "Becky" Sears. She was also employed at the same clinic, her children close in age to Derek. The two families seemed connected by convenience and coincidence. Shared school pickups, morning commutes, conversations over fences. To the outside world, everything was normal. They were neighbors, colleagues, perhaps even friends. But beneath that quiet suburban veneer, secrets were taking root. Investigators later revealed that Becky Sears and David Parsons had become romantically involved. An affair hidden from Kay, meanwhile. Inside the Sears household, the dynamics were tense. Becky's teenage son, Christopher Bowers, was fiercely loyal, impressionable, and deeply influenced by his mother. Her other son, Michael, would later tell investigators that Becky had once said, "I wish I knew someone who would kill someone for me." Those words, chilling in hindsight, hinted at the dark intent simmering beneath the surface. The neighborhood itself was tightly knit. Children played outside, neighbors mowed lawns, and casual interactions gave an illusion of safety, but small frustrations and jealousies were quietly festering. Investigators would later describe the intersection of these relationships as a toxic mix of desire, obsession, and manipulation. Co-workers at the clinic recalled Kay as the type who always put others first, often covering shifts or staying late to help patients. Becky was friendly on the surface, professional and polite, but those who worked closely with her noted moments of tension, brief flashes of anger or frustration that seemed out of proportion. To anyone outside, the relationships seemed harmless. Inside, they were a web of unspoken rivalries and simmering animosity. On March 25, 2009, a construction worker arrived at the Parsons home to complete a minor repair. He noticed something was off. The back door had been shattered. There was a strange silence. When deputies arrived, they followed a trail into the garage. There, they discovered Kay Parsons, battered and bleeding, lying near her car. Her body bore the marks of a brutal attack, inflicted with a claw hammer and a baseball bat, both found at the scene. Kay was rushed to the hospital, but the injuries were too severe. She died the following day, leaving a stunned community in grief. It appeared she had interrupted a burglary, but this was not just a random home invasion, said Captain Steve Morris. Neighbors remembered the shock. "We couldn't believe it," one told police. Kay was always smiling, always helping. Who could do this? The initial investigation revealed anomalies. Jewelry, a gold necklace and watch was missing, but other valuables were untouched. Detectives suspected the burglary was staged. Attention turned to the Parsons-Sears connection. Confidential informants revealed that Becky had confided she wanted Kay dead. Her son Michael confirmed she had expressed a desire for violent intervention. The affair between Becky and David Parsons provided the motive. Prosecutors allege Becky sought to remove Kay to claim David for herself. Neighbors and co-workers were shocked. To them, Becky and Kay seemed friendly. Their daily interactions, work shifts, smiles in the parking lot, the shared neighborhood, had hidden a dangerous tension. Investigators began reconstructing the dynamics. The secret affair, the whispered threats, the brewing resentment. The case became as much about uncovering human psychology as it was about physical evidence. Prosecutors later outlined a chilling plan. Becky allegedly enlisted her 19-year-old son, Christopher Bowers. On the morning of March 25th, he entered the Parsons home through the broken back door, armed with a hammer and bat. He launched a devastating assault on Kay Parsons. Christopher then returned to his mother, reportedly saying, "I took care of everything." The bloodied clothing was hidden in a backpack, the scene staged to appear like a burglary. The Parsons family lost a mother, a wife, a friend. The community lost a sense of security. Investigators concluded that Rebecca Sears had manipulated her son to execute the murder and staged additional events, including her own superficial shooting, to create cover stories. The motive, clear in court, was jealousy and desire, to eliminate Kay Parsons and attempt to claim David Parsons as her own. Inside the neighborhood, whispers spread. How could a mother persuade her own son to commit such a brutal betrayal? How could a co-worker and friend harbor such deadly intentions? For many, the answer lay in a tangled web of obsession, secrecy, and manipulation. Today, Rebecca Sears and Christopher Bowers remain incarcerated in Georgia, serving life without parole. The Parsons family continues to live with the aftermath of the tragedy, a stark reminder that danger can hide behind familiar faces, and that betrayal sometimes comes from those closest to us. Do you think life without parole was a fair sentence in this case? Let us know your thoughts in the comments, and if you like deep dives into disturbing crimes like this, subscribe to the channel. We'll see you with the next case.